You won't believe what happened next. One of TV's most beloved stars, a man who made millions laugh and think as Theo Huxtable, may have left behind more than just memories. What really happened to Malcolm Jamal Warner in his final days? Was it truly a tragic accident, or did he see the end coming long before anyone else did? Because now, someone very close to him, someone who knew him better than most, has broken their silence. And what she said? It changes everything. Let's rewind for a second. When news first broke that Malcolm Jamal Warner had passed away at just 54, people were in shock. The initial story? He drowned. Just like that. No drama. No warning. Just an unfortunate accident. But almost instantly, something didn't feel right. Fans, friends, and even close colleagues felt that there were pieces missing from the puzzle. Something about his passing seemed off. Then came the emotional gut punch. Phylicia Rashad, who played his on-screen mother for years, spoke out publicly. And what she revealed wasn't just touching, it was chilling. According to her, Malcolm knew. He sensed something was coming. Not in a vague, poetic kind of way, but in a deeply real, unsettling kind of way. And once you hear what he told her in private, you might start wondering if his death was really an accident at all. Just days before his death, Phylicia says Malcolm called her. Calm. Steady. But clearly different. He said things like, "I feel like I'm on borrowed time." He wasn't panicking. He wasn't scared. But it was like he had already made peace with something the rest of the world had no clue about. And she wasn't the only one to notice the shift. Close friends said he had withdrawn from public life, keeping to himself more than usual. No major posts on social media. Fewer public appearances. A lot of quiet time, especially by the water. He'd go for walks alone near the edge of a lake near his home, places he used to go for comfort. But now, it felt different. Observers said he looked pensive, sometimes lost in thought, sometimes speaking softly to himself. And then, the texts. Cryptic, short, emotional. Messages like, "I wish I had more time to say goodbye, and maybe it's better this way." Now, at the time, they probably felt random or poetic. But knowing what we know now, they hit a lot harder. But here's where things take a serious turn. Phylicia shared that Malcolm had been privately battling a rare, aggressive neurological illness, something he never made public. Not even his fans knew. Very few family members knew. He told Phylicia because they were close, really close, and he trusted her. He didn't want people to treat him differently. He didn't want sympathy. He didn't want pity. He just wanted to keep going, quietly. He told her, "There's something pulling me away from this world. It's not fear, it's just knowing." He had come to terms with whatever was happening to his body and his mind. But the most heartbreaking part? He also said he wished he had more time. More time to finish things. More time to connect with people. More time to live. Even more unsettling, he had started getting his affairs in order weeks before his death. Quietly updating his will. Setting up guardianship plans for his kids. Talking about memorial preferences. You don't do all that unless you feel the clock ticking louder than usual. This wasn't a spur-of-the-moment thing. He was preparing. Now, let's be clear. The official cause of death was ruled a drowning. No signs of foul play. But the deeper you dig, the more questions start to pop up. Why were toxicology results delayed? Why have other cast members stayed silent? Why was Phylicia the only one speaking out? Was Malcolm dealing with legal threats? Financial battles? Something darker? Phylicia hinted, just barely, that there might have been external pressure. Not just the illness, but something else. Something that weighed on him. Something that made him want to keep certain things secret. What exactly that was, she didn't say. But the way she said it? You could feel the tension. You could feel the fear. There's also the fact that Malcolm had been posting increasingly reflective messages on his social accounts, quotes about letting go, about the end, about the flow of life. At the time, people thought he was just being deep. But now, with all of this in the open, those posts feel more like subtle goodbyes. In the final phone call Phylicia described, Malcolm told her, "I'm ready. But there's still so much I wanted to do." And that's what makes this story so heartbreaking. He wasn't trying to make headlines. He wasn't seeking attention. He was just a man quietly facing the end and trying to find peace in it. And let's talk about strength for a second. We often think strength is loud, brash, in your face. But Malcolm Jamal Warner showed us something different. Strength can be silent, private, gentle. It's in showing up, even when your body's giving out. It's in choosing to protect others, even when you're the one in pain. It's in calling your friend and saying goodbye, even if you can barely say the words out loud. The reaction to Phylicia's interview has been overwhelming. Fans from around the world have shared stories, memories, tributes. Artists have spoken out about mental health, the importance of early diagnoses, and how common it is for people to suffer in silence. People are waking up to the fact that sometimes, even the strongest, happiest-seeming people carry battles you'll never see. But there's something else Phylicia said, something that stuck with me. She said Malcolm wanted his story told right. Not for drama. Not for headlines. But to inspire. To help others. To remind us that life is precious, and short, and full of unseen struggles. And maybe, just maybe, he wanted us to pay closer attention. To our friends. To our family. To the quiet signs that someone we love might be hurting. So if you're watching this, and you've ever felt alone in your battle, whether it's health, mental struggles, or something you just can't name, know that you're not alone. You matter. You're seen. And your story, just like Malcolm's, deserves to be heard. Now, if this story moved you even half as much as it moved me, take a second to breathe. Let it settle. And if you're comfortable, share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever experienced something like this? Do you think Malcolm was trying to leave a message for the rest of us? And hey, if you found this story meaningful, give it a like. Subscribe if you want more deep dives like this. Share it with someone who needs to hear that strength comes in many forms. Because in the end, the best way we can honor Malcolm Jamal Warner is by living with more compassion, more honesty, and more love. Thanks for sticking with me through this one. It wasn't easy. But it was important. And I think somewhere, Malcolm would be proud.